What's going on? You see, we increased the budget on this bad boy.
It is. I actually was using Batman's cape to clean my camera, but
is that? Oh, I thought that when you trying to do some effect like a fade in.
No. I was just cleaning my camera, but it worked out well.
Oh. Well, welcome to Talking Geek, just geeking out. I'm Lawrence St. Victor. This is my cousin Chris St. Victor. And we're going to talk about all the things that we want to talk about that's geeky and new. But before all that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know what to do. Chris, what's up, man?
Yeah, chilling, man. I got a bunch of G.I. Joes in the mail.
Let me see.
Valor versus Venom. I got that. I got one for the 25th anniversary.
Where are you buying? Are these
Macari,
all eBay?
Baby? Macari. And here's one that came. That's a used one, a loose one.
Now, were you a crazy G.I. Joe kid?
Crazy G.I. Joe.
Were you?
Yes.
I don't remember.
And check this out. This is cool. So you see Sebastian's leg?
Mm-hmm.
I put a magnet in it. So now he
wow.
So now the grenade of magnets. And then I have a gun with a magnet in it. And then I'm doing and I designed a backpack that I can't find now because of course I need it. But here it is.
Etc. So on and so forth. What is going on? Chris is like, boom, shaka laka laka. I know your intro is crazy.
What up, etc. And then I have the backpack I designed that has magnets on it so that you can have accessories and stuff stick to it.
Chris, I'm impressed. You're a freaking toy maker.
Yeah, man, it's getting official. The toys are for real now.
I don't know why I don't remember you playing with G.I. Joes as a kid. Maybe because I never played.
Because you weren't really enjoying when we either go to our grandmother's house or you'd come over.
You never brought G.I. Joes
because we didn't play G.I. Joes. We played superheroes.
I think that's.
And we never played Legos. We never played Legos either.
Were you into Legos?
Was I into Legos? I'm a Lego maniac. Still a Lego.
You chose not to share that stuff with me.
Still a Lego maniac. I got mad Legos here. You had some Legos, but you never really played with Legos.
No, because it's work.
And
then they break.
I love Legos. Man. But with us, it was just superhero toys.
Wait, what? And it still is for me.
It still is. I mean, I I've been really going down. There's been a lot of nostalgia for me right now.
No, I like that.
But yeah.
That's
what about you? What's up with you?
Nothing, man. Well, I got a bunch of pickups, etc. You're gonna want to see some of these, man.
What'd you get?
But first, Chris, how are you adding the magnets to the figure and accessories? Are you using a Dremel?
No. So what I do is I use Tinkercad. So I have these magnets. I bought the magnets in bulk from off of Amazon, right? So this is the magnets, right? So these are 2mm magnets. So when you're designing, I bring the design into Tinkercad, and I essentially make a hole that's 6 millimeters big, the same size as the magnet. So it prints out with the hole already there.
You don't got to do nothing, but
no, you don't got to do nothing. You just see this is one. See, this is the grenade, and then the magnet. You just glue the magnet in like that. And that's it. You just gotta make sure the poles are right so that it actually sticks and doesn't repel.
Yeah.
Science.
Wow. Science. Etc. First of all, let me just show off some comics first. I don't know why I'm buying comics I don't got time to read, but I just felt like buying comics.
Makes you feel good, baby.
It does, and I like going to a comic book store.
Yes,
so I got this bad boy. It's Last Days of Lex Luthor, Part 2. I still got to finish Part 1. It's the Black Label, which pretty much means it's out of continuity, standalone story.
I like those stories because they can take chances, tell crazy things, and
that Batman one where he showed his Johnson.
Yes,
Batman damned. Yeah.
Damn, Batman.
And then I grabbed this one, which is like the beginning of the Summer of Superman.
Nice,
I guess. And it has the Superman movie costume on the cover, which is
very
cool.
dope.
And etc. I got some toys, man. I went to Target this morning and I went to 3 Targets today on some toy hunting. Come
Anything
like,
good? Are they getting deliveries in? Because my targets are sparse out here.
well, today was a big day for the Superman movie toys. A bunch of toys were street dated for today.
Okay.
So this morning around 7:30, my boy's up at 5:30, so 7:30 is like a 10 o'clock for me.
Right.
We went to Target and etc. I got two joints that dropped today, street dated today. Well, first, before that, I picked up this toy, which is just, the
I
spin.
cop. I cop that too.
Did you cop this one?
Cop that
Yo,
too.
Spin Masters.
I've been
Whoa,
I've been
it's
talking
pretty
about Spin
freaking
Masters for
good.
a minute.
You ain't saying nothing about Spin.
Negro. I've been telling you about Spin Masters for years.
But they have it. This is their first time doing a 6-inch figure.
It is. Because usually, because this figure is Spin Masters, they're 3 3/4.
Right. I figured they had that license. I'm like, y'all had 6-inch license this whole time? Because Spin Master is freaking they're losing the DC license as well. It's not just McFarlane.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, when Mattel took over the license, it's like we're gonna be the only toy makers. You might still have like Mayfex and stuff like that, but as far as like in store
Yeah.
DC, so I'm like Spin Masters. You waited to lose the license to start dropping like official. Like these look better than the
quality toys.
Yo, look at his likeness. These are better than what we had as kids.
Yes, man. Well, you figure technology's come a long way.
But you almost. Do you need to spend $40 on the DC multi? Well, yes. You did. Yes, you
Did you buy that multi? Did you see the multi pack? Like
I did. No, I did see the multi pack, but I'm still more invested in McFarlane. So I bought that so I can have it, and then Christian can play with it too.
Yeah.
I'm still getting the DC McFarlane one.
Right.
Target has all the Spin Masters. And I saw a couple Targets with the Superpowers Fortress of Solitude from the movie.
Really?
I saw a couple. I thought about getting it.
I might cop that. But that will go into rotation though. That'll go into full play.
Because you can put anybody in there, but I honestly do not have the space for that.
Yeah, I go upstairs.
When I was there earlier today, they had Superman, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and the single packages, and they had the multi pack.
Yep, that's been out for a little while.
Last week. I have not come across a Hawkgirl. I've seen Metamorpho. I think I saw Guy Gardner. I have not seen Hawkgirl at all. I have seen the multi-pack though, and I saw like him fighting the polar bear and the kaiju. There's a couple packs.
They call it the kaiju. They actually call it the kaiju.
And there's a baby kaiju. Interesting stuff. But okay, last week I picked up the Superpowers T-Craft. You saw that in store already?
So, speaking of...
You already saw that in stores?
I don't know. I mean, he's also in Alaska. They may have shipped it early so they could guarantee the opening date.
Well, people from Canada, when they talk like they don't ever get stuff on time. I know Alaska's not Canada, but I mean, you always get this stuff. What you got there?
I'm trying to look for... Talking about Mr. Terrific. I saw it and I had to...
are you talking about the year one that dropped?
Yeah.
What is that about? You probably haven't read it yet.
I haven't read it yet. I just picked it up yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I saw it and I know he...
Etc. None of this stuff is in stores for me. And going to Walmart is a waste of time. And that's usually where I see a lot of superpower stuff. Well, but I did see the Fortress of Solitude, so...
I might cop that. How did it look?
It looks cool, but looks overpriced.
How much was it? $44? $45?
Like 30, but it's really like a couple plastic. Like you have the plastic computer, a couple plastic crystals, and the rest is like a cardboard backdrop.
Oh, so you remember that Batcave I got for you that they sent me two and I gave you one?
Yeah,
it's like that where it's not an actual structure. It's like a play set, right?
Yeah, it's a little.
I don't want a cardboard background. I need an actual base where, like,
no, it's not that.
Yeah, so then I won't copy it.
It's not that. It's not an actual like how we had back in the day. We had like a plastic.
Yeah. That's what I want.
No, plastic items with a cardboard kind of backdrop.
Yeah, I'm good then.
Yeah, it's not the 66 Batcave.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like this. Well, the 60. I don't even want that. I'm talking. I want an actual structure where people can be inside, doors
But
open.
no,
And
you can. There's no. You can sit them in the chair.
I don't need a chair. I could just print a chair.
Speaking of Walmart, since we last saw, remember how we discussed how they had taken all the DC figures out of the toy? Well, a few weeks ago, I found out.
In the
Was it?
collector section, right?
Yeah, and the collector's second, the
Yeah.
electronic. Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, not in my Walmart. There's no DC multiverse in the one that's close to me. But speaking of DC multiverse, since I did go to Target today and I picked up things that released today, first up I got is that new 52 gold label
Oh, very
Superman
cool.
figure. I wasn't gonna get this because I don't actually like the sculpt. I don't like that it doesn't look like how it's supposed to look. Like like McFarlane puts a lot of armor on all
Yeah.
like the figures.
Yeah.
This is the one where he was supposed to.
The actual one that actually, that's what actually he needed to have it.
Like he's supposed to look like this, Chris. You probably already have it. But it's the old like new 52 is where the lines like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how and McFarlane kind of just has a naked body and the cape isn't even wired. It's just made to look like it's
Listen
wired.
how you're spoiled, Lawrence. Listen to how you're
I
spoiled.
know, Chris. Leave me
You get
alone.
one wired cape and now you can't go back.
I can't. But I had to get him because I have like all the McFarlane Supermen
Yeah, of course.
of like different points in time. So this is still pretty dope.
That is dope.
And this is like a hard to find figure. Oh wow. Dude, it's street dated today, June 1st. So get out there and get hunting.
Get in these streets.
But this is what I found. This is also street dated June 1st, and I'm very excited for this guy. This is that gold label cyborg figure.
Yes.
This is from like that story arc where he becomes like a Red Lantern. You see how he's all the Green Lantern rings?
That's pretty dope.
I love this. And
That's a cool sculpt.
because I was looking for like the regular one,
Right.
but on the shelf, I'm like, Cyborg only looked like that version of Cyborg Superman. He not that long.
Yeah.
We pretty much figured out he was a bad guy by the time Superman came back.
Right.
So I'm like on the shelf, I don't mind him having a little bit more.
No, I prefer it. I think it looks,
And if I ever get like the regular one, it'd be like maybe Mayfix.
yeah.
But this looks sick.
It does look sick.
Very happy about these pickups.
Wait, you don't have the regular side. You have the regular cyborg. I thought.
No, the one that was just released that's made to look more like the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't need the original because I got the new 52 one.
Yeah.
I got this one, and if the Mayfix re-releases, maybe that one.
I need Superboy. Like, I have Eradicator, Cyborg Superman. I need and I have Steel. Obviously, I need Superboy.
They're about to drop a new Superboy to look more like when Superman died. It's gonna come out.
Yeah.
But last week I was able to pick up Batman Year One and Platinum figures along with Lieutenant. Yo, I can't find Gordon anywhere, bro.
Gordon I have an old DC Direct Gordon, and I have a Batman Animated Series Gordon, but I do not have a full blown like McFarlane, like the regular McFarlane Gordon.
They just dropped like the first one.
The only other Gordon I've seen is the Gordon as Batman, where he's like man.
Oh yeah,
skinny.
they have that one.
That one's been out for a long time.
They dropped the Lieutenant Gordon Batman Year One. I think it's a Walmart exclusive, and I can't find it anywhere. So I kind of gave up on it.
See, that stuff those figures like that are cool. Like the figures that should seem like boring figures is like the figures you kind of want to have. Those figures are cool to have.
But they're the ones that you can't find. I'm
not
going to eBay for them.
That's why I'm feeding to build the figure Bruce Wayne, man.
Well, get on it.
I'm trying
before it's
before I spend hundreds of dollars on it.
Before it's hard to find them. I haven't seen any Cyborg Superman in his stores. Cyborg Superman, very hard to find. This joint, this gold label, the variant just hit stores June 1st. Go to Toy Shiz. If you go into his YouTube store, Instagram stories, Well, you don't need to do that. Look, if you can,
Pause and scan it.
yeah,
Put your phone to the screen.
pick a picture of that, and then find a way to flip it. And at least now you can go to Target with the barcode, which is easier because don't ask them to look it up. Then they'll never find it. I was able to get my hands on two Bizarros, one to keep. He found I haven't seen Bizarro in the
I
wild.
have the Bizarro 2-pack. I have the Bat Zorro and
Chris, he's talking about the new one that dropped. You talking
I
about
know.
old stuff. We
I
ain't
know.
talking about old stuff.
But here's the thing: how different is the new Bizarro versus the Bizarro that I got?
The one that you got is kind of like big and muscular because he's on that big giant body, which
Right.
works for that comic book run.
Right.
But the Bizarro that just came out is more like same body size as Superman, kind of Silver Age, lighter blue colors.
Is he hunched or is he? No, that would be no.
Because he wasn't all deformed like that until later. Back in the day, Bizarro was he almost looked just like Superman.
Yeah.
Even his costume colors weren't even different. But this is something I got that I'm really happy about. Sort of.
What you got?
You listen. This is you know how like you're getting into like the retro figures, like you kind of found like another thing to find enjoyment in.
Of course.
You know me. You know how like I got the Bat Cowl.
Right.
I got the Iron Man helmet.
Yep.
Sitting on my desk.
Woo! Yo!
Yeah,
That is dope. Does it fit your big boulder head?
No, and that's why I'm pissed off. Star Scene Collectibles made this for
Hold
me.
it up again.
Made this for me. And you see the padding. And it was supposed to, I gave them my measurements.
Okay.
And it doesn't fit. And I'm pissed off. Because you can't return it because they made it for you.
Oh shoot.
It felt like they took the measurements of my head and made the helmet to those measurements.
Right.
When in reality, you got to make it bigger, and
the
inside has to be to my measurements.
How tight is it,
Chris? I can't even.
Damn, oh man! Does it come apart?
No. There are some that do, and I think they're going to start adding in technology. But basically, I mean, the way it works on the show is the back part comes off.
Yeah.
This is all one solid piece. So I think
that looks official. That's really
but I mean, it looks dope. I just ordered on Etsy a stand for it that also comes with his billy clubs.
That's cool.
So it's going to have his clubs on the stand with the helmet. But look at that quality.
That looks great. How is it made? Is it 3D printed?
It's 3D printed and painted.
Wow.
And then, with stuffed. And then they put some lenses right there.
That's pretty dope.
But I mean, the craftsmanship is crazy.
It is.
So I'm just mad I can't wear it. Although I don't really cosplay. To be quite honest with you, I can't fit any of the helmets I have. I can't fit
Iron Man helmet. Does the Iron Man helmet fit?
Well, you can take the back off. I can't put the back on once I put it on.
That's what I say. Victor's got big heads, man.
Hey, baby. Man, but that's like all my pickups in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
I'm very happy about this, even though I can't fit.
Let's go.
Star Scene Collectibles, but to be honest with you, there's so many makers out there. I would say definitely get one that does the magnet in the back.
Yeah.
If you're interested. If you haven't heard, they are getting ready to release retro Superman 78 figures.
I saw that.
Yeah, Spin Master. I don't know. I got to see those in hand, man. I felt like for retro, you talk about nitpicky, you're going to love this, Chris. For retro figures, I feel like the capes should be cloth goods and not plastic. And they gave Superman a plastic cape, which I feel like goes against the whole retro feel.
Look, I'll cop the main figures. I'll cop Superman. I'll probably cop Lex. I don't know how deep I'll get into that, but usually when they have those lines, I always cop like the the main character and maybe the main villain, and that's it.
But what's crazy about it is the first time that movie ever got a toy line.
Crazy.
Like Christopher Reeve, we've seen come out in different, but we've never had like Zod and Jarrell and
Right,
Gene
right,
Hackman, Lex Luthor. Like they just never had a toy line.
right.
Don't feel bad, Lawrence. I have a big villain on my shoulders. Listen, I mean, we can't cosplay. It's fine.
You
We just
can.
got
You just gotta.
some giant freaking helmet.
I know. I know.
Um, let's talk. Let's get into some news, man. Let's get
Yeah.
into some freaking news. Let me share my screen. Looks like Netflix had a whole thing going on.
Did you watch it?
No, but I did
I
watch some of the trailers.
I started watching it, and then I realized I'm not caught up on Squid Games. I'm not caught up on Stranger Things. So I was like, you know
Oh
what?
well.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch it.
um, so Squid Games, I'll say apparently they're gonna have new games. They said, and I'm like, etc. I heard the cape. I thought the cape was plastic. Um, I'll look it up, but I believe it's plastic. Although we just saw renders, I don't know. I'd be happy if it was cloth. I mean, Spin Masters usually does nothing but cloth capes. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but the quality of the Spin Masters clothes capes are terrible though. They
That's
fray
okay.
them apart.
Oh, they do because it's like that ribbon, right?
Yeah. That's exactly how. That's a good description. Yes, it's like
Well,
ribbon.
it's similar to what like the first round of superpowers. I was just happy I was able to fit my Darth Vader helmet. Man, I'm 23 inches, 23 and a half. What are you?
I don't know. I know I
Baby.
wear seven and a half. A new
For,
era.
I think I do too, or 7 3/4.
Yeah, maybe 7'3". One of them. But I know I rock the big one.
Ooh, baby.
Okay, you know. That's why I'm
uh,
with this. Go ahead.
oh my god. So Squid Games, I just heard that they're gonna have new games. And I'm like, as they should, because Squid Games. Um I didn't love where it left off. I won't give it away. It definitely felt like it didn't need to be it felt like they could have finished it in season 2. They didn't have to prolong it. But speaking of prolonging, we got Stranger Things season 5. They gave us a teaser, which pretty much showed us nothing but gave us some release dates, Chris. So
Oh,
we
no.
have Stranger Things season 5 is going to be broken into 3 parts. Part 1, November 26th. Part 2, Christmas Eve, and part 3, New Year's Day.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
No, and from what I hear, the actors have said like every episode feels like you're watching a feature film. So you might almost want a break to digest everything.
Yeah,
Um, a part of me is like, I don't want to watch it because I know like
that's it.
somebody. Well, and also like, I'll say one thing about Stranger Things: it has not like made it easier for our heroes. Like each season, it's more deadly and it's more like, how do y'all get out of this alive? And I don't think a lot of them will by the end of season 5.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
some
know.
of them kids is gonna die. I don't want
Look,
to see them.
kids, they're all like 30 years old by now.
Which is okay. This is crazy, right? So the black dude showed up to the premiere with a beard thicker than mine. Millie Bobby Brown's been married for like 2 years.
She's married
Yeah, she's married to
to
Bon
Hemsworth.
Jovi's son.
Oh, really?
I think so. Bon Jovi, and if not Bon Jovi, a rock star like that. Yeah, we got the same head size, etc. If I was into Darth Vader, I knew at least I know I can just
At
cop
least
that
I know I
for
got a
less than
friend. I know
I got
who I borrowed from.
a. So yeah, because I think, but what's crazy is the Stranger Things universe is only supposed to be like 3 years have passed,
I know.
but it's been like Sebastian wasn't born when season 1 came out.
No, he wasn't because I was
That's
still living with my in-laws. No, he wasn't.
bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know if. Hold on. When was I even in LA?
Yeah, you
Hold
were in
on.
LA. You were in LA.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You were in LA.
Okay, maybe I was home for the summer. Hold on. What year did Stranger Things come out?
Alexa, what year did Stranger Things come out?
No, yeah, I was in LA.
Stranger Things premiered on July 15th, 2016. The next season, Season 5, is expected to premiere in 2025. An exact
Okay, that's
date
enough.
hasn't been announced
Alexa,
yet.
stop.
So it's been almost 10 years.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be only like 3 years has passed. Yo, Hunter Iggy, what's going on? Hunter Iggy, what's going on? We talking about Stranger Things, 3 parts. So that's pretty cool. They showed a Wednesday 6-minute preview, or I saw
I
it on
love
YouTube.
Wednesday.
Did you watch the 6-minute?
I didn't watch the 6 minute. I watched the earlier preview. I didn't get to Wednesday. I shut it off because there were a lot of stuff I didn't watch. But I was gonna fast forward. I was waiting for Viv because she loves
It's
Wednesday.
good. It's a departure. It's just it's not about her in school, or maybe it will be, but those first 6 minutes are completely different. But it's pretty great. I know the actress. What's her name again?
Jenna Ortega.
She came under fire a little bit, I think, because she talked about just the negative experience of playing Wednesday, and I think people were like, "Oh, boo hoo." But I watched the trailer and I said, "I feel you." It has to be kind of weird being probably like 24, but you're known for playing a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I get that.
That
And
has to be kind of
you know why it gets weird? Because you get those basement dwellers that get into really, really weird
well,
character roles.
she gets weird mess, but also like as a grown woman, eventually you want to play roles that's your age.
Right.
You want to play falling in love. You want to play a businesswoman. You want to play a warrior. You don't want to play a child. And
Yeah.
she's gonna look like that for a long time. She's like
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox. She's gonna look
Yeah.
like a kid for a long time.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. I shot a film with the wonderful actress Paige Hurd on The Accused, and she's very similar. Where she's in her early 30s, but she looks like she's 20, and she just came off of a show Power, where she played like a 19-year-old. And it's not. What's weird is that people treat you like
Right.
you're a child. They don't treat you like you're like a grown woman. They treat you like, oh, she's a child, and it's like, no, I play a child. I'm not
Yeah.
a child.
You know, it's funny. It's like you guys can't have an opinion about anything, right? And you have to be happy. You have to like everything. Everything has to be perfect. And
Right.
you know,
Where 95% of people either come home to their wives or come home to their husbands or sit with their friends and complain about work. But if an actor complains about work, even just a little
they're
bit,
ungrateful. They're terrible. They're this. They're that.
man. Lawrence, when are you going to see and try casting? Listen, let me get in Blade. I might be too old, and someone's always trying to I skate uphill. Yo, they just need to give Ryan Coogler all the money and just say, "Hey,
Just have
figure
him
it
do
out."
it. He'd be perfect for it.
He probably is like, "Y'all can't afford me right now. Like I'm doing my own thing."
Yeah, but that's still Disney money, man.
Do you know what he got with Warner Brothers?
No.
He got a deal that he couldn't get anywhere. Warner Brothers for Sinners, first of all, gave him money to make it, gave him back end money so he gets points on the movie's proceeds. He gets a percentage of every ticket that's sold.
Good for him. Good for him.
Here's the thing. In like 20 years, the IP is in he owns it. So in 20 years, it no longer becomes like Warner Brothers library. Every time that thing airs is his money. So if he ever wants to do a sequel, we'll get to that, sequels, books, like he'll own the whole catalog.
Good for
Which
him.
is unheard of. People are like, why did they do that deal? So Disney gonna have to pony up.
Yeah.
They gonna have to pony up.
No, it's got deep pockets though, man.
They do. But that's Stranger Things. And we talked about Wednesday. And what else is Netflix? That's kind of it.
Emily in Paris. They talked about.
Well,
I don't watch.
In our thing, Happy Gilmore also had a trailer. I didn't check it out yet, but you know, I wasn't. I love Adam Sandler. I just wasn't the biggest Happy Gilmore guy. Let me show you something.
Show
and
it.
etc. You're gonna hate this. Let me see. I want to see if we'll get a copyright strike. Because I'm gonna go on YouTube and play something because it's very important, Chris. It's very important. Okay.
Okay.
Um, we just got behind the scenes footage of the new Superman movie.
Ooh.
And this behind the scenes footage, in my opinion, is everything anyone will ever need. And if you still are doubting this movie after this, I don't know what to tell you. Hold on one second. I got to find it. Stall, Chris.
Well, check out what I got. I got a bunch of absolute Batmans. Number 3, number 8. I showed you the Mr. Terrific already. I got another alternative cover, number 3. And I got it's the number 1 that was just re-released. So I bought another one. Here's an alternate cover. And then I got, what else did I buy? Oh yeah, I bought
Okay, I found it.
Golden Touch. Okay.
Thank you for stalling.
You're very welcome.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen.
Share it.
So basically, they came out with just a little behind the scenes clip of Why is it not showing?
Hours later.
Hey,
I forgot I had this thing.
okay.
Okay.
Do you see my screen?
I see it.
Okay, so basically, they showed a clip of just behind the scenes of Superman. And what's important is, I'm not saying other actors didn't have this interaction behind the scenes. What I am saying is the fact that James Gunn chose to show this is very important. Sound is off. And it's him interacting with a bunch of children. Asking how's it like working with him. They're all running up to him. And this is David Cornsweet behind the scenes, just being Superman to these kids.
Just being Superman.
And we have never gotten anything like this, Chris. Like, they went out their way to show you, like, it's very important that you understand that this Superman is something the kids will love.
That's dope.
Dude. And it's something we haven't gotten before. Not to say Henry Cavill wasn't on set and didn't have that similar thing exchange, but the fact that James Gunn chose to show it. And then you look at this, man, and it's like, what is this? This is not what I want to share. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Like, when you see this image,
That's it.
This is Superman.
Yep.
This is Superman. And the fact they got an actor who behind the scenes between takes is naturally acting like Superman, because to a 5-year-old, you're Superman.
Yeah, of
You're not
course.
an actor playing Superman.
Of course.
And he naturally embodies it. And he's talking to the kids and showing them love and high-fiving them and asking them about, like, so do you do plays? Yes, a Cookie Monster when I was a kid. I'm like, this dude is Superman. And not to hate on Cavill, but
he's embracing it, man.
Zack Snyder went out of his way to show us a Superman whose first battle destroyed like 30% of Metropolis.
Right.
So in real life, Cavill's Superman would be attached to a lot of trauma, a lot of fear. Oh, you showed up on the day of the alien invasion. It's like, imagine you're living Independence Day.
Of course.
And it's because these aliens were coming to find him. He's not necessarily like this natural beacon of hope because of how you discovered him. So naturally, when you see Cavill's Superman, he's imposing, he's godlike. He might be kind of scary. And the fact that they're showing us Cornsweet's version or James Gunn's version of, like, he's the opposite of scary. If anything, he looks goofy, so they aren't scared of him.
Do you remember, like, in the 50s, there was a Superman ad about racism, and they were like, racism is just un-American. It was a Superman ad. Did you ever see that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the
He's Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
He's Steve Rogers. Did you guys see the new trailer for Frankenstein? I did.
I love Del Toro.
It's honestly, I barely watched it. It was on. I was kind of on the background because, like Chris said, it's Del Toro. So I don't even need to watch the trailer to know that I'm going to go see that movie because Del Toro's doing a freaking Frankenstein. It's a
I'm
must.
about it.
Hey, did you hear that they had to edit against Superman and cut out 25 minutes along with firing the editor? I
No.
didn't hear about firing the editor, but I mean they're still in post production. The movie isn't out yet, so for them to edit and still make cuts isn't out of the ordinary right now. They still have a month to go, and the reason, and don't forget, they picture wrapped early, so they had all this time to work out the effects and work out the tone and maybe I think I heard they might have cut some jokes out because they're like it's getting a little too funny here. Like they have the time to luxuriate in the edit, etc. I know I know you're a Snyder fan, and I know you hate this costume, but I think you're looking at Superman, and all the other guys are just actors who played Superman.
Whoo! That's a bold statement.
Listen, I said it. I said what I said. Along with the WB and James Gunn going up against lawsuits. Well, yeah, that's not James Gunn and WB. I feel like the Siegel and Schuster have been trying to
Get
get
more rights
whatever,
to it. Yeah.
or get what they believe is theirs for a while now. But I heard that it's not going to happen. Or they're trying to like make it not premiere in China, but then that's going to happen. I think something in Canada, but listen, all you not I'm not talking about you, etc. You're not included in this, but all you Snyder trolls want this movie to fail, and it won't. And if it does, it's because it sucks, not because y'all made it fail.
And why would you want to fail? The more content that's successful, the more good content we're gonna get.
Because they want Zack Snyder didn't get his fair shot, and I'm like,
He had how many years?
he had a lot of movies, and to be quite honest with you, it's not his fault. It was Warner Brothers' fault. He made Man of Steel, which is very controversial, but I really liked his take. His take on what it's like to have Superman in the real world.
Yep.
And if he had it his way, he would have had a Man of Steel 2 and a part 3, and you would have saw him evolve into being, you know?
The Boy Scout.
Yeah. But they knew that Batman was $1 billion thing, and they wanted to catch up to the MCU. So instead of giving Superman his trilogy and his franchise, they shoehorned the whole DC universe into his movies instead of him getting a traditional movie.
Yep.
So he gets an origin story, then he gets a Batman movie where he dies, and then he comes back in Justice League at the end. Like he never like they threw away Superman to fast track their thing. Apparently, test audience was coming off too comical. It might, but that's not that's not uncommon. Also, you can't believe there's a lot of misinformation and hate, but it might have. This is where they're finessing the tone. So it might have been too comical, or in some areas not comical enough.
Yeah.
Right now, there's still like listen. When the chef is in the kitchen cooking, I don't go in there and start tasting. I'm like, let me know when it's ready, and I'll eat. It smells good. It smells like it's ready. It's not ready yet, Chris.
Right.
Don't start
No,
don't
no,
start
it's a
licking
good
on
point.
stuff, Chris.
It's a
Don't
good
start
point.
licking on stuff, But yeah, Warner Brothers didn't want to do a Superman franchise. So don't get mad at James Gunn. Like if Warner Brothers wanted to, you would have had a Man of Steel 2 and 3. They didn't.
You would have had it was mismanaged by Warner Brothers, and but your love for Snyder, not you, etc., but just in
Not
general,
you.
your love for Snyder doesn't. You can love more than one thing. Just put it that way.
Just because, regarding that statement, just because you can put lipstick on a pig doesn't change the fact that it's still a pig with lipstick. That's what I'm talking about. That's Man of Steel for you. Just because you put Superman in a movie and call it a Superman movie doesn't mean that it's actually a Batman movie dressed as Superman.
Right.
Christopher Nolan had an idea with David Goyer to do a Superman film that was grounded and moody and darker and real world, pretty much giving it the Dark Knight trilogy treatment. And they got Zack Snyder on board to bring it to life. Batman guys made a Superman movie, and we wonder why it was controversial, dark, and gloomy. That's your pig with lipstick, etc. Now, let me tell you, that's a beautiful pig with some wonderful lipstick. But that wasn't
we just
Superman.
talked about this like 2 weeks ago about how we felt about it. About we always talk about Batman. We always end up at Batman v Superman, no matter what. We always end up.
Because it's etc's fault. No,
Right.
because I've been going back and forth with some folks in my comments, and even just for fun. And everybody's fun. No one's disrespectful, just for fun. And a lot of people love Man of Steel as they should. I love Man of Steel, but I know that it's a take on Superman. Like no Superman that should be your main continuity Superman should ever let his father die in a tornado.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
You know, it's that's not your main continuity Superman. That is your Elseworld. This guy has baggage. Let's see how he becomes Superman. And I love it. Let's see how he can do it
Right.
because he has more lessons to learn. Um, but not your main continuity. In all fairness, Zack Snyder wasn't trying to make a main continuity Superman. He was trying to do his trilogy.
Right.
He didn't think he was world building until the sequels. Anyway, Lawrence, James Gunn. Yo, there's rumors that he's interested in the world's finest. Now, Chris, let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
If Superman comes out
Right.
and it's amazing, like it does what it's supposed to do, would you want a world's finest to introduce a new Batman? Or do you want to have a standalone Batman, whatever, first?
Yeah, we could introduce Batman and have that and do the world's finest and then roll into a Batman movie a couple years later. I have no problem with that because
Or what?
what do we do? Do we really? It's not like we don't know Batman. We're so familiar with Batman that you can introduce Batman at any point,
Does
and
that mean we lose this? Does that mean we lose a pure Superman sequel, like Batman v Superman? Are we back into that now?
we are. We are back into that. We are back to that. Unless, I mean, I can see James Gunn learning from Batman v Superman and saying, "Hey, like we can do this, but it's gonna be focused on what it's focused on. It's gonna be you can do it, but
Batman Superman could have worked. The issue, if they didn't make Batman Lex Luthor in that movie, pretty much a guy who wants to kill an alien out of fear. You know, he's pretty much Lex Luthor.
right.
And they didn't put Wonder Woman in there because she actually served no purpose whatsoever, and it was just Bruce and Clark. That wouldn't have been terrible.
So you remember the World's Finest when they had the animated series crossover and they had
Hmm.
give me that.
But I don't know if that would work because Batman still had his own series. They still established what their
But
version of
here's,
Batman
here's
is.
the thing: do we need? All we need to know is we need maybe a quick, a small scene of Batman. Let us know where he is in his career, and that's it.
But what kind of Batman is he? Like, is he more charming? Is he more broken? Is he more detective? Is he more action event? Like, I think we might need to
It
establish.
all depends. I mean, I don't know. I'll let you know once I see this movie. But you can you can absolutely introduce the world's finest because it's because Batman is it suffers from like Spider-Man. Like I don't need another origin story. I don't need to start over again. We already have a standalone Batman series that has nothing to do with
Sort
anything.
of. We're gonna get into that. Sort of.
Sort of. So
Um, I don't need an origin story, but I do like establish. I don't want a world finest movie. I'm gonna say it because like we rush to get Batman and Superman together, and it's like give me a Batman movie. Let me get Nightwing. Like they have so many characters that they don't use because they're trying to get the Justice League. Give me the Gotham. Give me the Gotham Rogues and give me the Gotham Heroes
well,
first.
we can get that, but I can see a world's finest working where not as Batman and Superman are standing on the same level, but Superman really relies on Batman's detective ability because that's where Batman really shines, and especially against Superman because yeah, they fight shoulder to shoulder, but realistically, what's Batman doing that Superman's not right now?
Well, we gonna get there. With
Right.
James Gunn, we can't put him on a pedestal. One of the main reasons I'm skeptical of Gunn is because James Gunn did make the statement that he thought that The Flash was one of the greatest superhero movies. Well, yeah.
Flash had potential.
It had potential. One of the greatest is a bold statement. I can't even defend that. But I would say his body of work is kind of strong. James Gunn's body of work is strong. It's very strong.
Watchmen.
I mean,
I mean, that's Snyder. I'm
that's
sorry.
Snyder, but,
Yeah.
but I would say James Gunn, etc. This is gonna make you mad. James Gunn saying The Flash is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made makes as much sense as Zack Snyder going, I'm going to have Superman's dad die in a tornado because he chooses the world's not ready. But the first scene in that movie you see, he saves people in an oil rig and allows them all to see his face.
Yeah.
Is the world ready or not, Clark?
Yeah, with his shirt burning off. Yeah.
The world's not ready to know I'm out there. And some guy pours a beer on you, so you put freaking telephone poles through his truck. You make no sense. You're so inconsistent with the story you're trying to tell.
I'm
You're
gonna
not.
go watch Man of Steel again.
It's mad inconsistent, and it's like when he was a kid as a teenager, he saved a bus full of kids, and they all saw him, and that's when his father's like, maybe you should have let them die. His
Wait,
parent.
that's terrible advice, Lawrence. That's
No, it's
terrible
terrible.
advice.
But I did get what Jonathan Kent was coming from about like his son being exposed. Here's the thing, though, Chris. His son saved a bus full of kids, and they all saw him do it. John and Martha Kent successfully gaslights the whole town into believing that's not what their kids saw.
Oh my goodness.
So basically, you already know how to make people shut up. So why couldn't Clark save you in that tornado at super speed?
Right, exactly.
You gaslit the
Are
town.
you telling me that someone's gonna be in the middle of a tornado and be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa"? Let me ignore my life flashing before my eyes to see Superman save some old dude.
Because everybody, when a tornado's coming, usually runs 10 feet away, stops and stares at it.
That's exactly what people do.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, man.
Don't forget, yes, and James Gunn did Brightburn. And to do a movie that's about an evil Superman, and I really like Brightburn, means you have to know who he is to make him evil. If you watch Brightburn and watch like Zack Snyder's Superman movie, you would go, yeah, obviously Henry Cavill's Superman is not evil, but they're both dark. If you watch Brightburn and watch the trailer of James Gunn's Superman, you would go, oh, I see how they're complete opposites. The point that Jonathan Kent was trying to make was he didn't want him to expose himself to the locals that knew his parents, which could put Clark and his parents in danger. No, the trauma of watching your father get massacred in a tornado. I don't know what father
would say, "Let me go."
Would put their child through that, knowing he has super hearing, knowing he has the vision to hear your bones snap. Like that level of trauma. You don't get to be Superman after witnessing that. No. You have to go to therapy and unpack that because you'll be asking that question for the rest of your life. This is worse than Spider-Man letting Uncle Ben, murderer, get away. This is like with great power comes great responsibility, and you made the wrong choice. You let your father die in a tornado. And here's the thing, etc. This is why it kills your Superman theory point in that film, is because it's not a choice. When Steve Rogers in Captain America, when that grenade went down the ground, he didn't think like, should I jump on it? No, should I run away? Just it was beyond his ability to even think. True. Superman, when someone's in danger, I go. Like I don't even think about it. Which is why in this new trailer is so good. He just goes and he actually went into a foreign country and broke several laws because he didn't think about it.
He did what's right. I save people.
I can't help it. And the way Steve Rogers jumped on that grenade is the same way Clark would have rushed into that tornado and basically had to I don't know what we're going to do. They know my secret identity.
Yeah, we'll figure
but
it out.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm saving your life first.
Lawrence, we definitely have to. Yeah, no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it soon, before in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, Chris, let's get off of this point. There's another point we have. There's more
Go
news.
ahead, go ahead. What else you got?
So let me finish and sharing my screen. Ryan Coogler confirms he has no plans for a Sinner sequel. A lot of people are saying that there's a sequel in the works. He has no plans for that. It was very personal to him. He might have finished the story he wanted to tell, but it made a buttload of money, and he'll eventually own all the rights to it. So,
I haven't seen it yet. It's one of those things I
are
gotta
you
watch.
serious?
I can't take Sebastian to it.
You took up to Mission Impossible?
Yes.
How was Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, it's got a little bit like Die Hard-ish, where Ethan's the only person who can save the entire world, but it was good.
Well, I mean, that's been the whole series.
Yeah.
Lawrence, the Snyder boys want Homelander type evil Superman. So why don't they let Zack Snyder do a Homelander live action? I mean, honestly, it's like, and I try to move on from Snyder, but Chris, remember at the end of Justice League, the Snyder version?
Yep.
And the post credits where it was like this post apocalyptic world, and he had Batman, Joker, and a couple other heroes working together.
Yes.
That's Snyder's vision. He wanted to get to Superman being evil and controlled by Darkseid. Like, that's where he wanted the franchise to go. All our heroes have to stop Superman.
Right.
James Gunn is like, Superman's our beacon of hope. All superheroes will aspire to be like him.
I forgot about that.
And Zack Snyder's like, no, hold my beer. My Superman's the one to be feared. He wanted to do Injustice so bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because he modeled it after Dark Knight Returns, where Superman's an antagonist in that.
Yes, he
and
is.
then the post credit is Injustice, where Superman's the antagonist in that. So it's like they didn't know the character enough. You got Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl in the new Superman movie because they want to show you what it's like for superheroes to want to follow his lead.
Right.
Snyder's like, we got to form a team to kill him. And Batman v Superman, the Flash comes to the present time to tell Bruce, you don't trust him.
Yep.
That's Snyder that's his take on Superman. And and I would say he's absolutely right. Because a guy who can let his father die in a tornado, and he has a breaking point. He's going to crack and break bad. Chris.
Yo.
Keanu Reeves is not happy.
Why?
About the new scripts for Constantine.
Really?
They're trying to get Constantine going, and
I just rewatched Constantine last week on Netflix, and I know we did on our old podcast. We did it holds up, and it's good. It's good, and
it's really good.
And I think there's a place for that kind of like superhero horror.
Do you think though? Because it didn't do well when it came out, so it's almost like they let the movie be what it was going to be, and it eventually found its audience, became a cult following.
Right.
But from what I get from the article that I read, the studios have their hands on it a little bit more. They're trying to make it a studio movie, and Keanu's not feeling. He wants it to be more spiritual.
Yeah.
Pretty much pulling from the original.
Yeah. And I think they have to do that. They have to do, and I think, are they going to have it connect or be a standalone?
I don't know. I don't think they got it that far. It's not that far yet.
Yeah.
There's no scripts yet. He hasn't liked any of the ideas. But I hope we get it soon. I mean, I know we look at him and we think he's like a young guy, and he is a young guy, but
he's not that young.
This is John.
But Constantine doesn't need to be. He kind of could be at any age, though. Really.
That's true, Lawrence. Let's just agree that they should make a Superman movie based upon, if memory is correct, the late '80s Man of Steel 6 or 12-part issue.
I don't remember that. And Lawrence went mute. Lawrence is mute again. Mess with your mic, bro. You hit your mic again. I think
no,
there you go.
It cuts me off. No, that's the John Byrne run. In a post-crisis Superman, he was never Superboy. Clark Kent's more of a regular guy. It's very similar to, I would say, Lois and Clark pulled from like the feel of that, where Super Clark's just like a regular guy. That's where they established Lex Luthor as this business kind of mogul. Um, that'd be great, and I hope there's sprinkles of that in this movie. I hope that this new movie isn't just the Silver Age quirkiness. So they're talking about they're in the early stages of more Batman series on HBO
Okay.
because the Penguin did so good. I don't know where they at with a season 2 on that, but they are talking about some other possible villains, and I hate this idea, Chris.
Who would they do?
I don't think.
Were they talking about Clayface at one point?
Well, there's going to be a Clayface movie coming
I
out.
don't know if I need a whole movie on Clayface, man.
Well, James Gunn said, like, I think he agreed that was not part of the plan. Then they read the script and was like, oh my God.
Then it's like a horror type movie.
I don't know what it is, but they love the script so much. They're like, it wasn't part of the plan, but we got to make this movie because it's so good. I don't know if it's because, he's still entertaining the idea of Elseworlds.
Yeah.
So like the Batman with Pattinson lives in an Elseworld. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be tied to the main continuity.
Yeah.
But where I'm at with these series, like we need the Batman 2 to come out before we do any more HBO series.
Are these guys tied to the? Are they in the Batman universe? Will Clayface be in the Bat? I know we know Penguin, but will Clayface be in the Batman universe?
I don't think so. No, it might be its own thing.
I mean, it worked well for Joker once, not twice. Once.
I think. Well, the HBO series will be connected to Robert Pattinson's The Batman, just like Penguin. It'll be more like that. And I feel like the further we get away from the Batman being in the movie theater, like the more these series are just not going to be able to stand. It's going to feel like Sony doing the villain movies.
Yeah.
We need at least we need the Batman 2 to hit.
You're giving me all sides. Give me my main course.
Right. And the reason why the Penguin worked is because we were jonesing for a Batman movie and the Penguin came out. But eventually we're going to forget about this movie.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Well, that's a good point because if the Penguin really took off where the Batman left off, right? So the further you get away from your source material, the less you remember. You're gonna be like, wait, what happened? Wait, why are we here? What's going on?
And the Penguin still came out like 2 years later. So a part of me was still like, what? Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
But the issue now is the way the Penguin ended. You're caught up on the Penguin. You watched
Yeah. I finished it. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Seeing him kill his boy and the bat signal show up, like you couldn't wait for Batman to break Oz's face. Like you want to see Oz get his comeuppance.
Right.
But we're not getting that anytime. So it's like watching the Penguin was like, I'm ready for the next Batman movie in 2027. It's just not, it can work. They just got to come out with the mistake. Then they need to come out with the question series. It's actually one of my favorite. That'd be a great HBO show.
I agree. And you're right. They did a great job with him. They had a couple Justice League Unlimited. They had a couple episodes that focus on him. And this is a character you can do just stand alone and kind of. It would be awesome. I agree with this 100%. 100%.
Well, I know I've been glazing him a lot. I'm going to glaze him some more. That's what's cool about what James Gunn is doing. Like when you watch Creature Commandos, and I think we watch Peacemaker and Superman, they're only going to connect where he needs them to.
Yeah,
it's not like he's not yet making things where you got to watch this to know this, and you got to watch that to know that. So he can make a question series that's in the world of this DC universe without it being like required watching.
So the world is big enough. The world is physically big enough where you can have a Peacemaker or question operate independently, mention about the flying guy in Metropolis, but not necessarily have the events of Superman affect question, because
the question's he's got a mystery to solve. Like, okay, that's going on in Metropolis. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's dead on Skid Row.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would you cast as the question? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, he could do anything.
He
would be a fantastic question.
He would be an amazing question. He's already got a series where we just listen to his voice and don't see his face.
Exactly. It's true.
But besides Pedro Pascal, who would you cast as the question?
Oh, shoot.
because it's got
Josh
to have.
Brolin would be a great question.
Oh my God, Josh Brolin would be. He might be the only answer
Yeah, he'd be a great
because his
question.
voice is so good. And the
Yeah,
question, I'm not crazy familiar with him, at least for the comics. Does it is a mask he's wearing, right?
yeah, it's his face. It sprays because remember they sprayed it off on Justice League. Look,
Barely,
my question knowledge comes from Justice League Unlimited, the series. So
etc. Do you know? So it is something where you will eventually see the actor's face in his secret identity or at home or something, right? It's not like he looks like that the whole time, right?
yeah, I think it's a mask. It's a mask. He talked about my face. He talked about it. So
Aren't you concerned that they're cramming too much and having too much going on in a 2 hour movie? I can understand in the TV. No, I'm not, because I look at Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Green Lantern the same way I do Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. They make up his world.
yeah,
Now, if he's trying to make it so they each kind of have their origin story and they each kind of have
I
to
don't.
like,
I don't think so. I think
no,
they're just existing. We come into a world where we know superheroes are there. We know they're fighting crime. We know they're fighting monsters, and they're there already. And Superman's not
yeah.
introduced to it.
I don't think he's not using this movie to create a Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Guy Gardner spin-off movies. He's not using this as a tent pole to
Right.
launch their movies. They just make up his world, and I think that's why he chose those superheroes.
Do you remember the first either the first episode or the first few issues of Invincible, where we're dropped into
Yes.
a world? They have these established characters that we know nothing about,
Yeah.
but we know they're established. And as time goes, we learn about them. But we can be dropped into a world that there's established superheroes. These guys are there.
Yeah, and
We don't need an origin story for everybody.
and I think that's why he chose Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawk Girl, because they're heroes that can make up the world that you can learn a little bit about, learn about them as Superman does. But it'd be different if like it's Wonder Woman, and Batman, and the Flash.
Yeah.
Now, no, now we gotta spend some time. They're too big not to spend time with them. But I think he chose those heroes specifically because the Superman's not the first superhero, or if he is, he's in a world with other superheroes. And
Right.
if they're establishing this as Superman's this independent hero that kind of does what he wants to do, but you have other superheroes that work for organizations that kind of follow the rules, you would have them clash with him.
Great.
So like, no, I don't feel like they're crammed in. I only think things get crammed in if they're trying to like use the film as a vehicle to launch other projects that's not Superman,
Right.
which your boy Snyder did. Sorry, why am I coming at you? Correct. It's a spray mask that he puts on. If they were to do it correctly, they should also introduce the Huntress. Now, do we want the Huntress introduced before we have Gotham City introduced? Or yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, doesn't matter to me.
I want the question, but that's my point. Etc. You just proved my point. If we put the question in to make it a series, I know your point was like a 2 hour movie versus series, but the Huntress is so not an important
Yeah,
character.
inconsequential. Yeah,
So she can be thrown into that series without it feeling like it's too much. But if they put Batgirl, that's a problem.
I'd much rather have a question series versus a question movie.
Oh no, it needs to be a series. It needs to be like this, a mystery. Like
Yeah,
and you got to peel the fabric and the voiceover, like night teen,
like
dude.
very very like gritty noir. Like
get Josh Brolin. If you can't get Josh Brolin, John Hamm would be fantastic.
Yeah, he would be fantastic. The cliche. I need a raid to wash all the filth off these streets.
I can't even think of line.
That very Rorschach-ish. Very not as dark as as Rorschach, but Rorschach.
Rorschach kind of. Are they the same character?
Pretty much the same character.
The same character.
Pretty much.
They dress the same.
They dress the same. I think Rorschach is a little bit more disheveled. I think the question is more put together and established than Rorschach is.
Rorschach is trying to be the question. He just doesn't have the discipline. Like you wearing a fedora and a coat, but you don't shower.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't. Chris, I think that's Oh, real quick. The last bit of news, and then I'll let you go be with your family.
I don't want to be with them.
Viv is watching this right now. Yo, comic book news, bro.
Yeah, what do you got? Wait, whoa, 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 whoa,
We're
whoa!
getting our first DC Marvel crossover since the crossover,
Since the '90s, since
or was there one after that?
I think there's been some. There's been a couple, like, but,
But
but
it's
it's
like
a
the
big
first one in 20 years.
nice.
We're getting Batman and Deadpool crossover. It's going to be two specials. Uh, where we are, where am I? So in February 2025, Marvel and DC announced they would organize their first intercompany crossover of their characters in over 20 years. However, it's left unspoken what characters would interact and what the creators would be involved. The veil of mystery has now been lifted, and Deadpool will team up with Batman in two different one-shot specials.
I see Batman getting so annoyed with Deadpool. Like,
Well, I think that's a must. One special is called, Chris, you ready?
yep,
Deadpool Batman. And the next
creative
special is called
Batman Deadpool. Oh,
Yes,
man.
yes. The first special will be written by Zeb Wells. Wells is fresh off his lengthy Amazing Spider-Man and co-wrote the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Okay.
He will be joined by artist Greg Capullo,
Like, I like
who has extensive experience with both The Dark Knight and The Merc with the Mouth from his time at X-Force. The story of Deadpool Batman will find Wade Wilson traveling to Gotham City for a job. This will bring him in conflict with the world's finest detective. However, the two will become unlikely allies in the wake of the latest scheme of the Joker. The special will also contain several backup features with other DC and Marvel superheroes by other creative teams. However, these features and creators have yet to be detailed. The second special, Batman Deadpool, will be written by comic legend Grant Morrison, your boy.
Oh shoot!
He,
Batman, Batman in the daytime.
Morrison had an extensive run on the monthly Batman comic and co-created Damian Wayne Robin. They're joined by Dan Mora, the current artist on both Justice League Unlimited and Batman Superman World's Finest. Oh, he's sick.
Yeah, he's yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty fun. But I feel
Yeah,
like
pretty cool.
it's going to be inconsequential. I mean,
Yeah, of course. I mean, they can't. But Deadpool's weird because Batman has one major rule, and Deadpool's like he's all about breaking that rule. Like all he does is kill. So it's like
kills a lot.
yeah. You know what though? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it.
Well,
But,
they also kind of make Deadpool part of the one of the versions make Deadpool part of the DC universe. He just travels to Gotham for a job.
yeah,
It's not like he went through
a portal, which is
no. He
what
just
always
went to,
what always
so
happens.
he's always on this earth,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
I would have liked to see like I don't know who Batman would be teamed up with from Marvel, but some a little bit more serious that they could actually really like work off of each other.
Or do you want you don't want opposites attract?
Not really.
No.
I want someone to like. I'll read it. I'll probably enjoy it, but
Or
I
do
would
you
like.
feel like this is going to be like Wolverine and Deadpool?
Yeah,
One's super serious.
yeah.
And one
It's
won't
it's,
shut
it's the
up.
odd couple. It's the odd couple.
So who would you pair Batman up with?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh, I know who I would pair him up with.
Who?
Oh, it's obvious.
Who?
It's obvious, Chris.
Who?
The Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
I mean, that's probably the best pairing you can have because they're both driven. They're both men of code. They're both equally. No, neither of them are superheroes. You know, no, they're both superheroes, but neither of them are super powered.
Mm-hmm. But do you think they're too similar for it to be interesting?
No, it's not because I think that they would both want to be the primary. I think they would both clash. I think and then they would just find a way to work. But
Daredevil's not rich enough just to really rock with Batman.
No, he's not. He's like, you do what? You do what?
You do what? You got two. So in all that, you got two little sticks.
You fly coach.
You fly coach. Bruce Wayne. You know who Bruce Wayne's a jerk. He's
exactly.
I think Batman and Spider-Man would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did. That's what they did last time.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, in the 90s. That's what they. I have the poster right here on my wall signed.
Batman and Spider-Man?
Yes.
Which one? Look at that toy room. Look at them toys. Ooh. Etc. Hold on. Etc. says, that's not Chris. Let me see that. That wasn't from the 90s, though. Is that just not artwork? I can't hear you. Unplugged your mic. Oh, now you're muted.
Well, I am muted.
I unmuted you.
Yeah, they did have a Batman Spider-Man.
Not in the crossover.
I thought they did.
No, Batman was fighting Captain America. Spider-Man fought Superboy. And it was Ben Reilly, I think. Etc. says the question and Rorschach are similar, but the question believes the Girl Scouts are responsible for a lot of the conspiracies and the assassination of JFK and behind 9/11. That's actually hilarious to hear, like, the questions, conspiracy theories.
But then he explains it, and you're like, that makes sense.
Batman and Iron Man.
They're both like,
oh, they would clash in the best way because they're both billionaires and they both
like
that'd
you go to San Tropez. That was that was so 2011.
hilarious. That's all I got. Well, last bit of news is Daredevil Born Again did not do well in the numbers because you didn't watch it, so you didn't help.
Because I didn't watch it. It's my fault.
I think it made like 7 million streams, whereas the first season of Loki did like 12 or 10, and Agatha All Along did 9 million. But it's still coming out with a season 2, I think an 18 episode order, which is way too much in my opinion. You start to lose the quality when you start going past 10 episodes.
Yeah, unless you have some episodes where you're on some standalone, like
they had one, and I hate it. I hate it.
I don't tell you that. I don't know, man.
Anyway, that's our show. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate you sticking around to hear me glaze James Gunn. If the movie sucks, I'll take the heat.
I know you what. Go ahead.
You know it is what it is. Oh, Sebastian here?
Yeah, he's coming. He's grabbing. He got more cars to show. We're watching F1 in Spain.
So, for those who don't know, Chris has a wonderful son named Sebastian who is also into toys and into cars and wants to be a Formula One driver. He's going to show us what he got.
Yep, I think he built all the Lego. He has all the teams for all.
Really?
Yeah. All 10.
A lot of movies, TV shows, and video games have been hurting the last few years.
I agree with that.
Have they been hurting?
Hurting is in like, for me, I've been having a hard time getting into a new game. I played that new Doom, that Doom Dark Ages. Talking about missed opportunity, bro.
I gotta think. When would you say things were in the heyday? Pre-2020?
Back in my day.
I don't know. I don't know if they're hurting because it's bad or just people just don't have the same interest. I think the streaming wars happened because everybody was at home and we were all watching stuff, but we're not doing that anymore. So, like, the people that were around to watch all the Lokis and all the WandaVisions are not home anymore to watch.
WandaVision I thought was great. I thought it was cool and different.
It was, but I don't think it would work today.
Yeah.
I mean, it would work, but I don't think they would probably get the same amount of viewership because, you know, did you hear about Doom: The Dark Age? Apparently, it only sold a little bit over 700,000 copies, which is a disaster.
Yeah, I know. I'm not surprised. It's terrible, etc.
Is it terrible?
It's terrible. So instead of having, it's like this weird like He-Man type world where you have like, I thought Doom: The Dark Age was going to be like you have spells and you have like, you know, like medieval weapons. It's just Doom and like with monsters and like it's It's terrible. It's free to play on Game Pass. It's terrible. All right, let's show what you got so Cousin Lawrence can go.
Okay. So, guys, if you want to see all the cars, I'm gonna have another channel.
Yep.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the name of the channel? Do you have the name yet?
Not yet. I'm thinking of it. But I am gonna have another channel. I'll show the rest of the cars on the other channel.
Okay,
So
let's.
yourself to show a couple now.
The best of all, Red Bull already showed. Then we'll have a Kickstarter.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. A Ferrari.
I like Ferrari.
Haas.
America.
Haas is still kicking, huh?
Yep.
And the last of all, Alpine.
Pierre Gasly.
They're still yes.
Yep. Yeah, Lawrence is like 5 years behind on that.
I'm still in 2020. I'm 2021 right now. Etc. has to say this video game world. The peak, in my opinion, is Xbox 360, PS3, and after that, it seems to go on downward trend. PS3,
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us.
Let's-
Last of Us might have been PS3.
Yeah. Let's see. I showed that already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it. Okay.
Let's see where Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Sebastian will be 26 years old by the time that.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto. All right. Let's pack it in.
Sebastian, thank you for showing us your cars. Did you build a track for them, or are you just racing them on the floor? I guess you can't build a track. The track is like around Morocco.
I actually had a safety.
Next time.
64 was my jam. Mario Kart all day.
The best Superman game ever on 64.
Mario Kart.
You chose violence today, sir.
Yeah,
You chose
yeah.
I
violence.
actually have Mario Kart. I switched my own. Mario
Yeah.
Kart.
We're racing.
Oh, I have that too. I have it on my Nintendo Switch.
You have a Switch?
I do.
I didn't know
I didn't know you liked G.I. Joe's as a kid. So
What?
there we go.
that. That'll teach you to like G.I. Joe's.
That'll teach you to hide stuff from me for 42 years. All right. We're out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching and listening to us just talk geek and have some fun. Make sure you come back next week, 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 p.m.
6 o'clock.
Eastern time, and whatever is Central.
What? Hey, 6 o'clock Central. Put some respect on
We'll
Central.
put some respect out, and I won't glaze James Gunn as much next time, but I'm making no promises. Peace.